and a fun time was had by all. But the future of pizza delivery, blimps definitely are not. So a few days later, with the flying delivery options abandoned, the guys split into teams to get serious about their ground delivery prototypes.
We're done with the air phase of this project. We did the blimp. That was a lot of fun. But for the domestic pizza transport requirement, I think we're going to have to start looking into some ground options. For us to get this pizza delivery system working on the timescale that we have, we're going to need to talk to a world-class mobile robotics scientist.
Luckily for Zaz, he happens to be related to one. Meet Zaz's brother, Dr. Alex Brooks, and his business associate, Alex Makarenko, owners of Marathon Robotics. After the Brooks family's secret handshake, Zaz's brother goes over the features of this particular robot and why it could be an ideal short-range solution for pizza delivery.
So is that the sonar down there?
That's a scanning laser rangefinder.
Oh.
It shoots out a bunch of laser beams and measures distance to obstacles.
Okay, so it actually can see where it's going then.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
The best thing about it is that it builds up a map and it doesn't get confused by people walking around. It just routes around them.
The application for this is going to be perfect. We want to make an autonomous pizza delivery robot. However, if this thing came at me down the street, I don't care if it had a pizza on it or not, that would freak me out.
To make this bot a bit more personal, they bring out a boxing torso and add a wig and a chef's jacket to transform this rolling robot into their new personal delivery man, Luigi.
Luigi! It's you!
But he's not just a pretty face. He's a self-navigating robot. And pylons have been set up so the team can see just what Luigi can do.
Well, we've got one of the most important things done. We've dressed the robot up like a pizza delivery man, and now it's time to put it through its paces. It'll walk through an environment the first time and sense what's going on in that environment and make a map of it so that the next time it goes through, it can use its sensing of that environment to pinpoint itself within the map. So how much of the maze will it need to explore to map the whole thing?
If we just walk along behind it so it can't see us, we'll just go once through and then once around, and that's it.
Cool.
While the Alexes walk the robot through the course for the first time, and Zaz glides alongside, it digitally builds a map using its global positioning system and a two-dimensional laser scanner that senses when objects are in its path. When it reaches the finish line, they bring the robot back to the beginning and process the map data so it knows the way and is able to travel the same route without any human help.
All right, how's the map look?
Okay, ready?
Yep.
They set Luigi off on his own, and he cruises through the course without a hiccup, giving hope that when the time comes, he can deliver a pizza all by himself. With Zaz and the smart Alexes working on a short-range system on the island, the next day, Joe and Mike head into the city to see a fellow engineer who is developing an autonomous unmanned car that the guys think could be the long-range solution for transporting a pizza from the city to the island.
Designing any sort of autonomous system that can operate on its own without any human interaction is extremely difficult.
Meet software engineer, autonomous vehicle expert, and all-around whiz kid, Anthony Lewandowski.
This is it. Looks just like a regular car.
That's the point.
What's the setup?
Anthony shows the guys all of the gadgets that transform this hybrid sedan into a four-wheeled self-driving robot.
Anthony's design of the autonomous vehicle is actually pretty cool. He has a bunch of different sensors. He's using GPS for navigation. He has a laser scanner that isn't installed on the car yet, but it will be. He has a rotary encoder to detect wheel movement and a few other things that just gather all this information that his control system can then go and control the car with.
The ring laser gyroscope will sit atop the roof and project lasers in 360 degrees for location sensing even more accurate than GPS.
So can we see the box and how everything connects?
Yeah, sure. I'll show you right now.
When they go inside, they meet the brains of the system. The control box in the back seat processes all the data, then puts out a real-time position so the robot always knows where it is. Combining three types of sensors creates a much more accurate positioning system than if only one source was employed.
Let's see what this thing can actually do. Can we go for a test ride?
All right, let's go.
And just like the robot Terry and Zaz are working with, Anthony's carbot also needs to ride the route it's planning on taking one time through, so it can build a map that will guide it when it flies solo. Anthony sits in the driver's seat while they tour the block and let the vehicle's sensors collect data and build a map. Once they've gone one time through, Anthony pulls over so he can prep the vehicle to attempt an automated run.
This is the brains, basically.
He's the brains.
Using a USB drive, he plugs the data back into the box, giving the car its driving instructions, and they're off.
So right now we're actually driving autonomously. You're not steering at all.
Correct, yeah.
Look, Ma, no hands.
That's kind of creepy, man.
Anthony is using his programming to fool the car's internal computer.
All this information from the various sensors, he taps into the car's pre-designed control network to send his own commands to control the car. The car doesn't know any difference if it's coming from this box that Anthony designed or whether it's coming from the car itself. Oh, this is like driving with Mike North.
That's so untrue.
Moving in a straight line is one thing, but will it turn?
Yeah. Here we go. Oh.
Will it ever?
Cars driving themselves. I know Anthony was sitting in the driver's seat, just kind of, working the gas and the brake. But just seeing that steering wheel turn itself and going around corners. And there were a few close calls, but this is a big step forward. And it's really neat to be here witnessing it.
The automated vehicle continues to make its way around the block, making our pizza mongers believe they might finally be on the right track.
Very surreal experience.
Coming up, Joe shows us the nuts and bolts
Pizza's here.
of robotic pizza delivery.
Here's your tip.
Then it's Luigi's day out. Will he become the first robot delivery boy?
That was drive era.
And later, as the sun rises over the city, armed with only a pizza and a prayer, can a self-driving car escape from San Francisco? With no one willing to deliver pizza to their warehouse in the middle of the bay, our team of engineers is attempting to become pioneers as they seek automated ways to get pizza delivered to